Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your Energy Booster Podcast. This is your show host, Jeanith Padilla, and today we are embarking on a journey to unlock the hidden potential within each of us. Isn't it exciting? And are you ready? We are diving into one of the most thought provoking stories from the Bible, the parable of the talents. Whether you are familiar with this story or hearing it for the very first time, I believe it holds profound insights for your personal and spiritual growth. And before we begin, I just would like to share something to you. My little story. Not everybody know that I had been trained for public speaking since I was in second grade. I was performing on stage, um, through declamation and eventually oratory speech when I was in high school. I was representing my school, my district, my city, my area, into provincial meets, and even in the region. And so I just stopped when I went to college because I thought it was just, something that it was just a part of my school activities. And college eventually, or when I was in college, I focused more on my education, on becoming a registered nurse. And yeah, that was really a long time ago. And 2 years and a half ago, I heard about this opportunity about podcasting. And I got so excited. I was like, really? I can create or eventually make and yeah, have my own podcast. And I got so excited that right after that virtual conference, I went inside my closet and recorded my very first um episode. So yeah, the rest was history. I actually didn't know that, or even didn't realize that I was prepared long before for a time like this. When I was reflecting on this, my tears were actually rolling down my cheeks. Like, wow, I didn't know. I was like, I'm just gonna cry right now, too. I didn't know that, yeah, there's no such thing as accident. And you see, it's been like 2 decades ago that God really trained me for a time like this. And honestly, at first I just thought about this to just grow my business. And last year, God sent me a message that, yeah, this is his gift for me, and I am obliged to share this gift to the world. Otherwise, I won't be making a contribution out of my existence and my talents and gifts that he had long prepared for me to share to his kingdom. And so, yeah, this made me think of like, how about you? How often do we overlook the talents and the opportunities that you have or that we have, and that we're waiting for the perfect moment? And yeah, sometimes we just want to, make some excuses that we're not yet ready and we're not yet perfect and we need more training and we need more preparation before we really dive in into what God is calling us to do. And so this reflection brought me into our topic today. So let's start by narrating the parable of the talents. And this can be found in the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verses 14 to 30. And let me just read this to you. For it is just like a man about to go on a journey. He called his own servants and entrusted his possessions to them. One or to one, he gave 5 talents. To another one, or to another two, yeah, another one, 2 talents, and another 1 talent, depending on each one's ability. Then he went on a journey. Immediately, the man who had received 5 talents went, put them to work, and earned 5 more. In the same way, the man with 2 earned 2 more. The man who had received 1 talent went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. The man who had received 5 talents approached, presented 5 more talents, and said, Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I've earned 5 more talents. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Share your master's joy. The man with 2 talents also approached. He said, Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I've earned 2 more talents. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You were given, or you were faithful over a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Share your master's joy. The man who had received 1 talent also approached and said, Master, I know you. You're a harsh man, reaping where you haven't sown and gathering where you haven't scattered seed. So I was afraid and went off and hid your talent in the ground. See, you have what is yours. His master replied to him, You evil, lazy servant. If you knew that I reap where I haven't sown and gather where I haven't scattered, then you should have deposited my money with the bankers, and I would have received my money back with interest when I returned. So take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have more than enough. But from the one who does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. And throw this good for nothing servant into the outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Wow. This parable told by Jesus to his disciples speaks about a master who entrusts his property to his servants before going on a journey. The talents here, although literally referring to a large sum of money, well, at that time, yeah, these talents, yeah, is or were a lot already, like, more than golds. But, these symbolize the gifts, skills, and opportunities we are given. And so I know each one of us has a talent or two or more than that, that, we sometimes don't use because we're too afraid, or we're too shy, or we said we're too young, or we're already too old. And yeah, as I've mentioned earlier, we have a lot of excuses. But then going back, this story was a powerful message about stewardship and responsibility. But what does it mean for us today? How do we identify our talents in the modern world? In today's context, talents represent our innate abilities, learned skills, and even our time. Investing in these talents means learning, growing, and stepping into opportunities even when they're out of our comfort zone. You see, we all want to stay in our comfort zone. We all, does it just, I mean, I don't know about you, but going out of the comfort zone is just, I know it's not easy because, it's called out of our comfort zone because it's not comfortable, and we are too afraid most of the time of what other people will say if we do things they're not used, especially our friends and families. They're not used to us doing it, and they're like, oh, just stop. Yeah, it's so inappropriate. And, we, or those things don't please them. And we have to be reminded that we don't have to live for everybody, but to focus to live in the audience of one. We just have to please Jesus. We just have to please our Creator over anyone else. And so we talked about fear in the last episode. And those fears are actually stopping us from stepping out into our potentials, our hidden potentials, the talents and gifts that God has entrusted us, or has given us, or has blessed us. And, it's not just the gifts, but the time. How are we using and sharing these talents to serve others without even expecting something in return? And when we think of that, we get out into our comfort zone, and we step out from our selfishness into becoming really selfless. And, you know, what about, this fear of failure? Remember, the servant who buried his talent, he was too afraid that he might lose them. The fear, or these fear, can paralyze us or make us stuck and not grow, keeping our potential hidden, unused. And it is crucial to step beyond this fear, to embrace both successes and failures as part of our growth journey. You see, God is not interested about the material gain. Those material gain that we will have or enjoy or achieve from conquering our fears are just icing of the cake. What God is more interested is how we grow our character as we step out of our comfort zone, as we step out and claim the talents and the potentials and really step into the purpose that he has for our lives. And if you find yourself hesitating to use your talents, I hope you start small. Take one step today towards nurturing your skill, be it, signing up for a class, practicing a hobby, or volunteering your time. Do something today. I think this is the perfect time as we step into this new year, new hope, and embrace what we can truly be or how we can grow this year as a person that God wanted us to be. And on a spiritual level, this parable reminds us of the importance of stewardship. We are called to use our gifts, not just for ourselves, but for the greater good, not just to grow your business, not just for your primary gain, not just for your fame, but for others to grow. Remember the acronym HOPE. Help one person every day. Like, who is better because you are there? Who became better because you were there for them? It is a journey of faith, trust, and responsibility. As we wrap up today's episode, I invite you to reflect on your own life. What talents have you been given? How are you using them? Are there talents you've buried that you could bring into light? Thank you so much for joining me today on Your Energy Booster Podcast. I hope this episode has inspired you to explore and multiply your talents. Remember, each step you take in nurturing your skills is a step towards growth. Join me next time as we continue our journey of spiritual and personal growth or exploration. Until then, keep growing, my friend. Keep learning and keep shining your light. I love you and God bless.